All right, so today what we're going to do is work on this CorelDraw Assignment 3. All right, so if you click on there, there's some instructions. So if you look, these are the instructions, and this is where you submit a snip of it, and then this is the template. So if you click on this, you can then download it. All right, so for me, it defaults to downloads, so I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to go to downloads and open it up. So when it opens up, you are going to see this, a blank 1, and then a 2 with a guitar, 3 with some clip art, 4, 5, 6. All right, so what you are going to do is then follow the instructions. So you're going to type your full name in box 1 in size 72 point in Britannic font. Change the stroke to hairline and change the fill to blue. So it should look something like this. So we go over here. All right, remember, I'm going to click and I'm going to type in my name. I'm going to make it bigger. I am going to highlight it. I'm going to change the point to 72. And I am going to look for Britannic. I've already used it, so this is a favorite, but if you want to, you can look through and find it like this. All right, so 72 Britannic bold. Now, the next step is we need to change the stroke to hairline and change the fill to blue. So I go back to here. I'm going to double click on this, change the fill to blue. Doesn't really matter what color blue. Click OK and double click on this and change this to hairline. Okay. Then I am going to use the pick tool to move it over here. All right, Britannic 72 looks like that. All right, so I'm done with question number 1. Question 2, use the trace bitmap to trace the image and remove the fill. Then change the stroke to hairline red. Make sure only the vector remains. So if we go here, sweet. All right, so I'm going to go here and I'm going to click on this and see how trace bitmap pops up. So I'm going to click there, go to outline and logo. Now, what we want, it defaults to not deleting the original image. I would recommend clicking this so it has this check mark here so it'll always delete the original image. So if you do that, then click OK. All we're left with is this. You can tell if you grab it and move it if there's something left behind. So then we need to go down here, double click on the fill and remove it. And then double click on the width and go to hairline, and it asks us to change it to red. Okay, so now we are done with number 2. So number 3, trace bitmap, ungroup, and delete all but rocket and groups. Okay, so back here, so I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to trace bitmap. Now, notice that the clarity is not great, so you can change the detail. So we could make it more detailed. This is where you can also play with the different type. So if it's clip art, maybe that'll help. We can change that. You can also go to colors. See how there's multiple colors here? I don't think it's open yet. All right, so then, okay, then you go to, what?
It's on the side. It's like right there.
What are you trying to do?
There's like a snack. There's like a little snack thing.
You can go check with the pass. That's fine. So you could change this to black and white. So if you go to colors and change to black and white, then you only have those two colors, and sometimes that helps. So I changed it to black and white, delete original image, clicked OK. So now I have this, I moved it, that's all there is. Now I'm going to right click and ungroup. So see how there's a bunch of different objects? I'm going to ungroup, all right, and then click off. Now I could click on any individual thing, but notice these two are connected. So those are going to go with any of these things. So I'm going to find rocket, which is right here, and group, which is right here. You don't have to get lots of groups and rockets. You can just get one. So then this, delete, 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 all the above. All right, so see what I did there. Now try not to move that. Delete and delete. Now what I'm going to do is make this a little bit bigger, and that's who we got. All right, is that all we had to do for that one? Trace bitmap, ungroup, and delete all but rocket and group. All right, 3 is done. 4, trace bitmap, edit vector to be clean with no background. You may need to right click to ungroup vectors. All right, so we got SpongeBob here. So this is a multicolor one. So then we are going to trace logo. Okay, we might play around with the detail a little bit, make it more detailed. We could also see how many colors are involved. We could also try black and white. That doesn't look good though. All right, so we're going to stay with this. Okay, and I'm going to click OK. So now we have this, but I just want SpongeBob. So I'm going to right click, ungroup all objects, and I'm going to click around SpongeBob and delete these extra vectors. So see what I'm doing here? Now, this is one way, that's not the only way, but this will clean it up pretty good. All right, you could go in further and clean up all these little things. You could also go in and edit these individual nodes and delete some stuff. So like, do you see how this line here and this line? So we can decide what we want to do there. But for me, as long as you get all these little dots away, that's good enough. All right, so that cleaned that up. Number 5 is go to the internet, find your favorite sports teams, logo, Wikipedia, download SVG, import into CorelDraw, and remove, fill, and add hairline. All right, so what I'm going to grab is, we'll grab, I don't know, let's go get the Cincinnati Bengals. So we will, actually no, we're going to go Cleveland Guardians since they're in the playoffs. So I'm going to Google Cleveland Guardians SVG logo wiki. All right. So I see this. I'll go with the C. That's fine. So then I click on that. You see this pops up. Original file SVG. So I'm going to click on that. Right click, save as. See how an SVG document pops up? So then I'm going to download that. And then I'm going to go back to my file. And I'm going to, so see how when I click on this, it doesn't always let me import? I'm going to click off and import right here. Right there. All right. And then I'm going to see what else I have to do. So I have to internet, find your favorite sports team, download, import, remove, fill, and add hairline. Okay, so we want to, I'm going to remove fill and add hairline. Notice up here this X, that means there's no color. We want to add some sort of color. All right, so then we have that. Uh-oh. All right, so, and then we move that in here. All right, last but not least, you are going to choose your own multicolor image and download, import, and trace, add text, make sure both are hairline. All right, so I'll let you do that on your own. Once you are done with 6, then you are going to take a snip of this, your completed thing, and you are going to save it to your computer and upload it to Schoology.